Wow, this looks good. Hello, warm welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Really, really great to have you here. Let's give an applause. It's so silent. Great. Thank you. This feels better. Thank you. Warm welcome to Berlinale Talents. Warm welcome again to the HAU Hebbel and Ufer. It's so great to have you here. So we've been going through an entire and amazing and also kind of positively exhausting week focusing on the many, many languages of cinema and not cinema. And I have the feeling I learned more about language than ever before. I could speak in so different languages and not only in this English here. And for today, we are not yet done, so we still want to learn more about it. And I'm very, very proud that we can do it together with a wonderful guest, two guests actually, and also with a wonderful moderator. And please welcome with me here on stage, Nastaran Tajeri Fumani. Please come. Enjoy.
Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome also from my side. And I'm very, very honored and very pleasure to have here today the artist, musician, producer, and also filmmaker Peaches, and also the avant-garde designer, the haute couture designer, and coiffuriste Charlie Le Mindu. Please give a warm welcome. Hi. So, we're going to have a lovely talk here on stage, and we also have two people with microphone. It's Eva and also Carlos. In case you have any questions, we're going to open the mic now and then, and just lift your arm and you can be part of the conversation. But of course, I'm going to take the privilege to start, because Peaches, the first time I saw you on stage was in September 2000. I was a bit sneaking out of school because the school holidays were they were gone, and I said, no, I have to see this show. And I went there and I saw you and I was like, okay, what is happening here? This is crazy. This is super explicit. The lyrics, everything, the performance, I was really amazed. And then the next time, it was 2008, and you were DJing at the Berlinale party of heavy metal in Baghdad. And I was like, that's wild. Also very great taste in heavy metal music, and I was headbanging the whole night, really having headaches the after day, and also a very big hangover. And then 2022, it was you having your anniversary tour, and I was jumping up and down and peeing myself, I'm gonna explain why, and singing alone to Suck In on My Titties just 40 days after giving birth to my child. And this lyrics then made total other sense, and you know, and you know, and in this time, you know, I have to say that your style, your performance, everything has gone through a very, very mesmerizing transformation. And my first question is also, how did it all begin? Where are you right now? And also, where did you meet Charlie? And when did your partnership in this artistic way started?
Yes, well, thank you very much. So how did I begin? Well, this is a large question, but I think that I'm going to take it for the purposes of what we're doing. How did I begin my language of costume and performance? And I think this could go on and on. So
yeah, we have time.
I didn't, you know, just growing up, I had no idea that the only route would be a creative one for me. I questioned a lot of things. I wasn't interested in a lot of technical things, but I just questioned a lot. I always questioned. I loved music, but I didn't always love the lyrics. I always felt like they didn't relate to me and things like that. So I wanted to create my own. I knew about theater because as a creative form. I thought music, you had to be born into it, or you needed to take music lessons, which I had never done, so I didn't even think about being a musician. Theater to me, because I saw people on stage, I wanted to be a theater director. And I was also just fascinated by performance. And actually, there were certain late night movies on TV that were musicals that blew my mind as a young child, that I probably wasn't supposed to see at that age. And they really made me want to make musicals, or I didn't even know if I wanted. Like I just felt like this was my home or something. And so I want to tell you, one was, I don't know if you know this film called Phantom of the Paradise. I just show of hands, because some people know, some people don't. Yes, one person knows it. So, but you know the director Brian De Palma. So this is Brian De Palma's horror musical based on Phantom of the Opera, and it's a 70s kind of B horror movie, but incredible, you know. So the costume, the language, the transformation of one song, you know, in the same way as Phantom of the Opera, but I didn't relate to that music, you know. But funny also, Tommy by Ken Russell. Was it Ken Russell? Is that the name of it? Yeah, that movie really blew my mind too. As it was, and there was no speaking; it was all just like an opera, you know, which means no one ever talks. And especially the scene with Tina Turner, it was called the Acid Queen, and they used a fisheye, and she was just really in your face, and like incredible performance. And I wanted to be a part of that world. Funnily enough, I ended up doing, I wanted to go to theater school. I went to theater school to be a theater director. It was horrible because all I kept saying to people is I want to do cool musicals. And they were like, we're doing Ibsen here. We're doing Chekhov here. We're learning. And I'm like, cool musicals can say a lot. You know, you can actually have a fun revolution with musicals, you know. It doesn't have to be fluff. It doesn't have to be a certain way you see them, but you can really dig in a way how I see John Waters' Hairspray, you know, things like that. So I left doing that, and I always wanted to do a cool musical. I became Peaches. I transformed myself. I realized I can be the writer, I can be the director, I can be the artistic director, and I can be the performer. So all my dreams came true through music. But and I was asked here to do a stage show at Hebbel and Ufer here. I did a kind of show using my music in the same way that Tommy uses, you know, only music. Kind of giving a view of what my audience wants me to be, and all the like miscommunication and all the opinions of what people thought I was. And we did a stage show, and then actually we filmed it, and by Robin Thompson, he filmed it all 5 shows, and then we realized this could be a movie, a stage show movie kind of feeling. Unlike Without You, I'm Nothing, you know, I don't know if you know Sandra Bernhardt, one-woman show, Without You, I'm Nothing, but that kind of style. I'm glad my references have really taken off here. But maybe you want to write them down and see them. And then it became a movie, so Peaches does herself. Why I'm telling you all this is, why not?
And I think, yeah, to replying to your question, where we met and where the partnership started, basically, I think it was 23 years ago. I saw my first Peaches concert. It was in Paris. You were opening for Marilyn Manson, and I arrived in Berlin, and I think it was at 8mm Bar or something like this, and I was like, I'm going to be your hairstylist, and I'm going to be doing costume for you. And that's it.
Charlie just moved from Paris. He was like, seems like it's more fun in Berlin. I'm going to find Peaches.
Yeah.
And found me in a bar.
And then basically I started doing haircuts.
In dark rooms.
In dark rooms, and at Rio as well at the time. And that's where we really kind of met. Yeah.
Great. That's great. And I mean, you didn't just meet and made hair. You also started a relationship, an artistic partnership. And yeah, maybe you could tell us a bit about this and also, yeah, how it's going. I mean,
Yeah, well, Charlie cut my hair, and then my performances were getting more and more performative. I started with like little shorts that were pink because people found me very aggressive. So I was like, I'm going to do a costume with little tight pink shorts and a little pink shirt and confuse people even more, because confusion seems to be a really good way of reflecting back onto your audience and have them either continue their confusion or work through it. So I like that. And my pubic hairs would show and people would be pointing at them. There was people who were taking photographs of my crotch a lot. I turned it into a crotch gallery on my website, my first website. But the point was that I really started to think about hair like, okay, that's a costume. If you see my pubic hairs, and hair on my head long is beautiful, but if you see my pubic hairs, which are there for protection, which are there naturally growing, do you have a problem with it? That's your problem, because it's just there naturally. So, and even if it wasn't naturally, it's my prerogative to make me who I want to be. So it was just this whole ongoing conversation about, what if, if I wave with my armpit and you see it and you go, ew, but if you see me with like extra long lashes, you go, how beautiful. So I think Charlie and I had a lot of these conversations, and I think we were inspired by each other, that we could also like make my hair into a vagina or something. We could do like a bunch of just have fun, but also it becomes a sort of personal political action. I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we start turning you into a hairy monster, basically.
Yeah. Well, we want to set up a video here, so I don't know how.
You mean your video? Or
we have a video to show. This is the first work that Charlie, I'm just going to stop it for a second. So Charlie said, I have this idea, I want to just do a photo shoot with you. The quality is really bad because it's a long time ago. But I want to do a video shoot with you where you have really long hair. And I was like, sure, okay, let's do that. And then I always used to bring my little camcorder, Camcorder, anybody remember a camcorder? Okay. So I've gone through a lot of different video things, okay. But so I brought around my camcorder, and I was like really into making little action films, first with Super 8, and now I was using my camcorder. So I'm like, Charlie, let's, like, after you do your photo shoot, let's go around the neighborhood. You hold the camera, and let's see what happens with me wearing this hair and people's reactions and everything like that. So this is the video that it became a music video for my song Get It, and so we just wanted to show you that. We got giving and getting. We got giving and getting. That's what we got. We got giving and getting. We got giving and getting. That's what we got. We got giving and getting. That's all that we got. Giving and getting. That's all that we got. Giving and getting. That's all that we got. You wanna get it? Get it. Got it? Well, may sound like a simple idea, but to get it, gotta give it. To get it, gotta give it. Get it. To get it, gotta give it. To get it, gotta give it. We got giving and getting, that's all that we got. Giving and getting, that's all that we got. Giving and getting, that's all that we got. You wanna get it, got it. To get it, gotta give it. To get it, gotta give it. Get it, to get it, gotta give it. that we got. Giving and getting, that's all that we got. Giving and getting, that's all that we got. You wanna get it, give it, got it. To get it, gotta give it. To get it, gotta give it. Get it, to get it, gotta give it. To get it, gotta give it. You wanna get it, you're gonna give it. You wanna get it, you're gonna give. You wanna get it, you're gonna give it. You wanna get it, you're gonna give. Give it. Gotta give it. To get it. Gotta give it. Get it. To get it. Gotta give it. To get it. Gotta give it. Get it. Gotta give it.
Thanks for sharing. And
I remember that day was great, actually. I think it was one of the first time that I realized, because it was really our first project. I was 16, I think, and where I realized the effect that hair and hair extensions and wigs could have on people. Like, some people will find it so gross, and some will want to be like, oh, it's a teddy bear, we love it, you know? And I think with all those reactions, I think it was amazing to explore, to make much more costume for Peaches with hair, basically.
yeah, great. And because you just started, you know how it started, and you don't just do like hair pieces or haircuts and costumes. You also do exhibitions and so on. With hair, tell me about your hair kink. Where does this come from? Like,
I'm obsessed with it because in terms of, it's like human fur, you know? We're not hurting anyone yet to find hair, you know, to find human hair. So I just love it's a fetish for sure. I love every time I work on a sculpture or a costume, I really think about where does the hair come from. There is hair dealers I have hair dealers. If it's like, if hair comes from Peru, if it comes from Laos, it comes from France or anywhere, you know, it's very important for me to know the movement, the way, everything. So every texture that I can use and stuff is very for a specific project, or every DNA, I would say, or like origins of hair is very for a specific project. I rarely use fibers, like synthetic, everything is always human. I just think the obsession with it comes from my clients at the beginning and my friends when I was cutting their hair and see how happy I could make them, or mad if I was bad. The way you can change someone's life with hair is amazing, so that's why I go into it more.
okay, great, thank you. Is there any costume that you say, okay, I like the most, and why? And Peaches, also for you.
Costume, I think I like a lot of them for different things. There is one moment with Peach that I love the most. It was in London when you were a DJ.
That's a good one.
I think we didn't have time to bleach your hair, right? Because I think
actually that is the first time you bleached my hair.
Yeah, it was the first time, yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, I think I was working during the day, and then I just met you, it was before tour, and I was like, the only time I can bleach your hair is during your DJ set.
Yeah, we decided to make it a performance. So Charlie was, it was like a table like this with a heart. Charlie was crouched down with like a blow dryer in his hand and
foils.
like water and all the things. And he just kept going, Peaches, are you ready? Are you ready now? And I had to put on like a 10-minute song. And then I would disappear.
Yes, and then she came up with foils. Playing for like an hour, and then we rinse it with the champagne, of course. And dry, yeah.
Yep.
It was nice.
And then I came, and at the end, I remember everyone was like, what, was your hair blonde at the beginning of the set? Like they were, you know, kids partying, drunk. They were very confused, more confusion.
Yes.
And you also have a lot of costumes here today.
Yeah. We do. I also wanted, like, Charlie was in Berlin, and you made the costume in Berlin, the first one, right?
Which one?
With the little dress, the hairdress, and the braided.
Yes, that one, yes.
And Charlie's like, Peaches, I made a costume. And I was like, oh, show me. And it was all hair. It was like, just, you know, like I don't have a picture of that one, unfortunately. Like, it was cute. Yeah. It was like a skirt and pieces. And I remember immediately I was going to do photo shoots with them. And then Charlie's like, I think I need to move to London. I think I need to make fashion. And like, Charlie also, one thing amazing, just like has an idea in his head and just goes for it. Like, 15-year-old kid in Paris going, I'm going to go to Berlin, I'm going to find Peaches, I'm going to start doing hair, and, you know, just never fear, like so fearless and so incredible when you say you're going to do something and then like you're, you know, wow, Charlie, you did that? Wow. It's amazing, all the things that he's done. But I went to visit him in London, and he already had, like, his apartment was a huge studio, and there were all these hair costumes made. I just looked around, I was like, wow, this is incredible. And Charlie's like, yeah, I'm going to do a fashion show. And I was like, let's make a video. Like, can I do a song with you? So we did the video for Talk to Me, and it's all the hair creations. Should we show that?
Yes.
Is that interesting? A lot different quality than the one we just showed you. Also, I want to say, I know I talk a lot. I just wanted to say that at the time I was actually in London too for 2 months, staying with friends, making my album. And when Charlie had moved, was living there. And this is before he made the costumes, but still we had met a community of people. Also Price James, and
there was Victoria Modesta, Tree.
Yeah, Daniel. Nova. Yeah, all these people, they were like costume designers, musicians. So they all ended up, you know, working on this video with us.
the costume was actually the one you were wearing was actually the first one I made for you.
Yeah, the one I was trying to describe that I said we didn't have a picture. That was the one I was wearing, the first one Charlie ever made. And I'm sorry about the quality because you could see they were really beautiful costumes.
Yeah, and we just witnessed also, a very big part of your work, because what you're doing is with your music, with your performance, you are trying to, and you're doing, stressing heteronormative norms, and with a very sex-positive, body-positive, and queer feminist approach, and also, slightly horror, hairy, kinky style. Can you explore a bit on this? Because this is a very strong commentary, actually, what you're doing throughout your whole work.
Yeah, it's just important. I mean, in that last video, I think there was a lot of thin people. But I think that was just the people we got. I was like, oh. But it's important to represent and to, more and more, which is great. We see more body positivity. But also, just when I started, also, I found out I was ugly from articles, that would say, Peach's music works through her ugliness, And
I really loved, I was so in love with you, sorry.
Oh, stop. No, that's when I pat my long, pretty hair. But, no, of course I didn't believe it, but I was like, oh, interesting, yes. And so it was just important where I had this platform, I had this privilege to present and to change things through my movement and performance. So I always made sure that was a part of what I was doing and what our community was, my community, how we were represented.
Again, talking about community, also, the designers that you're working with and so on are also part of your community. So they're friendships, partnerships, collaborations, comrades.
Always. I think that's very important for me and for Charlie. And I think that what's really incredible about our 22-year relationship is that we're not just exclusively working with each other. We... it's because some people really just work exclusively with each other, which is an incredible friendship. But it's so great that we feel that we can be strong on our own and also extend the family and the community. And
I mean, I think the more collaboration you do in general, the more strength you have anyway.
Do you want to hear some questions from the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, there is one. Carlos? Yeah, Carlos is coming with a microphone. Thank you.
First, thank you both for being here and sharing your work with us. But I wanted to know, since you've worked so long together, if there's been any moments that you've influenced each other's work.
Influence? Yeah, always. And I think we push each other to even more craziness sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I work a lot with, in Paris, with the Crazy Horse girls and the Crazy Horse, which is a cabaret. They call it the art of nudity, And women's body is something that's inspired me since I'm a kid. And it influenced one of the costumes that you're about to put on. Yeah. So it's a costume that I made of 6 different silicone boobies and human hair. Do you need help? Yeah.
Shall I?
Maybe you can hold the mic.
I hold the microphone.
I remember Charlie saying, Peaches, I'm working with Crazy Horse, but I'm going to really fuck it up. Not in a bad way, but I'm going to do something they never did before. And Charlie said, I'm going to do, how you always use multi-boobs, I'm going to make a costume like that. And what's amazing is it's very performative too, you know. So, which is very important for me, that it's not just an adornment, but it's also something that I can, you know, say something with or
And you got
use.
wings.
Yeah. And the hair, yeah. So yes, and the socks are a great part of it. But and I have used the costume this way in a lot of times. But what's very spectacular is there's also these beautiful hair wings. And which have magnets here. I'm so glad you asked this question. And
that one. Wait.
glasses.
There we are.
Yeah, I've never worn it with glasses before.
I mean, that was basically my vision of the Crazy Horse Girls.
And then, so this was not my. And then after Charlie said to me, you know, there was a really big influence. So I would like you to have one of the costumes. So gave me this. And the best part is then you can be like, whip it around, stuff like that. I never do it up in the. And that's it. And also, I feel like, to me, the most important costume of all is just nothing. So, it's always good. And we talked a lot about nipple covers as a costume because, you know, they're originally used just to like make your nipples not stick out.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I like it too because if you look, like, especially from far back, it's kind of confusing. Like, is that real? What is, you know, it makes a little bit of a weird illusion, doesn't it? People in the back? Like, you don't know if I'm wearing a boob costume or that because it's like no nipples. And I have also costumes that are only nipples, you know, that are casted from my nipples, things like that. So, yeah. Another question, maybe?
Is there another question? Okay, there is one in the middle. Can you? Okay. There is one question.
Was it?
Yeah, and there's another one. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Floss, and I'm a fashion designer turned
Floss, that's a
musician.
great name.
Floss like a boss, thank you. And I wondered, I mean, those hair costumes are also amazing, but then I see other costumes that are more like, they have like a specific message, and I wonder,
Yes.
when did that happen?
When I started to, I mean, I've always been the bodysuit person, like wearing the bodysuit. Some people call it a leotard, some people call it a body. It depends from where you're speaking from. But I was about to go on the anniversary tour, and there was, you know, again, issues in America with abortion rights. And Viva Roots has her own self-made, like, larger than just T-shirt protest shirts, but like a huge protest mindset, and has these amazing, thank God, for abortion T-shirts. And I was about to go on Sam B's show, and we were going to be talking about that stuff. So I was like, I need to make it into a bodysuit and wear it. So this is really a great statement. Also, underneath things that you can just rip it off, and it's kind of like freeing it. And then, of course, the whole drag situation happened. We all know about it, all of these things, right? If nobody needs any explanation. And my friend Pansy had a T-shirt again that said, "Drag saves lives." So again, we went and made a bodysuit, and then, of course, transmit. So this became an action in itself, too, to like wear, each one under each other, because I also like to do this, like, like the Russian doll, what's it called? The matryoshka style, where you're like ripping it off in a new. So, yeah, again, action into action into action.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was another question.
Hello, I'm Annika. Thank you for the movie yesterday. I was at the premiere and I saw you with the "Fuck AFD" sticker on your genital area, and I really loved it. So I have two questions, to be honest. So first of all, my first question is, do you think art, performance and music can change political minds? So can we save the lost people from AFD to another mind? And my second question is, I have founded a little movement. It's called Flutes Against the AFD. And in German, Flötende gegen die AfD. And I wanted to ask you, I have a flute with me, if you would like to flute something.
So you would play the flute, and we would like improv. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like this.
All right. So,
Maybe the first question and then the flute. I don't know.
Can I give you some notes to play?
For myself, that
Yeah,
I play
like flute notes.
flute notes.
Yeah.
I cannot read the notes. I
Oh, you
only
don't
hear
play
it.
the flute. No, if I go like
no, it has to really be hanging on their nerves. You know that it sounds like.
Okay, well, go ahead then. Let's go.
And,
Okay, come right up here
Okay, I thought like maybe you could do it.
Come on. Wait, we're just gonna. No, you have to play the flute. Yeah.
Wait,
you play the flute.
I
I'm
think we
gonna
need the
improv with you.
costume change.
Charlie's gonna play the flute. You're gonna play the flute. Okay. Nastaran. Featured flautist. Nastaran. No, that's not her. Fuck the FD away. Fuck the FD away. Fuck the FD away. Fuck the FD away. All right. I think we just answered your first question, too, because that's definitely going to, yeah.
We saved the world right now. You witnessed it. Okay. Maybe because the hair piece is here, can you tell the story about this?
Well, so basically, actually, this one was not supposed to be a costume. I work with Disney. Yes, I did an installation in Paris at Disneyland, and basically this braid was an installation during Rapunzel when the movie came out, because I helped them on the movie. And I just bring it back, and Peaches was like, "I'm gonna use it as a costume." So yeah.
Fuck Disney. So, yeah.
And how do you wear this?
Look.
You'll see Charlie at work. Is it real hair?
No.
But it's heavy. How many kilos? I think it's like 15 kilos. So, but I mean, some of you may have seen a show I did where I always called it my diva moment, because kind of like, you can always be like.
slides? Yeah, you want to show now? Yeah.
If you have something else.
No, it's cool. So you also have some pictures here. Where you can.
Just to get a. I gotta make that bigger. Sorry, loser can't figure out how to make it bigger. How do you make? How do you solve the problem?
Is it this green one?
I am.
No.
Yeah. So actually, this was from the. Also, you saw these a lot in the Talk to Me video, and it became my. Monsters that came on tour with us. I had 2 of them, and we would give them to unsuspecting people in the audience before the show, and then they would have to dance. They would become my dancers for Talk to Me. Economical way to travel with dancers. No. But yeah, so this is the most ambitious costume Charlie ever made for me.
Yeah, that was a lot. I think it took us like 3 weeks to make that one, right? We made it in Berlin.
It's all braided.
Yeah, we can't really see the details there, but there is tons of like stones and.
There it is a little more,
yeah.
So you can see how it like goes back. It's all got like magnets in it too, so you just pull it off, and another costumes underneath, and the rest of the band also had these helmets, and these are the 2 unsuspecting Talk to Me dancers for the night. Oh, sorry. Oh, I heard a oh wow. Maybe you want to look at that. Yeah, it's a nice shot.
Yeah, I think the braided moments are the longest. For example, those chaps.
Yeah, the chaps will come ones, here too. We can show them after. Yeah.
Okay, we'll show them after.
Just because it's dark.
Yeah. I guess so. Those takes a long time because each single braid is like made. We made them in the studio per size. So yeah, they usually take about 3 to 4 weeks to do.
Shout out to Christine, who you have a tattoo of.
Yes.
Oh yeah, these are the hair chaps that Charlie's talking about. I think there's more. Those are them again.
When they were fresh.
When they were fresh. When they were fresh.
Very fresh. God.
They're also really performative and fun because you can just pull them off.
I mean, that's what's great with hair is the movement catches the light so well on stage.
That was part of the chap's top, but so kind of there you just see just a little overview. There we go. Blast from the past. This was just Charlie helped style me here when because I used to, like I said, I performed in my little pink shorts, and I would wear a bra. I'm not really a bra person now, but when I came back to do my anniversary show, I wanted to come on stage. The first look be just completely like, with a walker, and I'm totally too old to be doing this, and transforming throughout it. I had, these from a sex shop, these booby slippers, and those are the original pink shorts that I wore, so they're a little too tight on me.
The bra as well, no? Was
you
original.
made that. You got me that hairnet.
Yeah. The bra was original as well, right?
The bra was original, but we decided to wear it on top of the boobs. Also, there's a purse. I don't know if you can see under the instrument. There's a purse it's gold that says "bitches" that somebody gave me. Ping Pong Bitches, this band, in 2001. So I've kept that. There it is. I pulled the microphone out of my purse. I think that having a purse on stage is just a great, ridiculous language of costume. This was a costume made of all hot pants.
Yep.
So it's a bunch of hot pants, old ones, found ones, constructed by Soren, who helped us out. But yeah, conceptually we came up with the idea. That's one of my many merkins. Familiar with merkins? Okay, thanks, Francis. Thanks. Another diva moment.
The crazy horse girl.
Crazy horse girl. And this is like this is my favorite Charlie.
Yeah, this one's
costume.
great. I think that one was about like 20 kilos. That one's so heavy.
So heavy.
And it's all, all European human hair as well.
Did you have to dye the hair?
We dyed everything.
You dyed the hair?
I dyed everything.
And you have gray ones, and you have...
Yes. I think we made that one for a show we did together in Palais de Tokyo in Paris. Yeah.
How long does it take to make a costume like that?
The longest part really is to find the material, so to find the hair and to color it. After, to make it, it can be 2 weeks, it's fine.
And then the vagina head became a part of it. This is not made by Charlie, but it's just an interesting costume that is based on something that Charlie and I are obsessed with called prolapsing. Which is basically hemorrhoids.
Kind of.
So, but this was a costume designed by Lucy Lulaloup that we wanted to fit me and 2 dancers in, so you can see all the limbs coming out. And a baby head. This is like Charlie made this in a collaboration with...
Yes, with Alice Ballas.
Alice Ballas.
Yes.
And then for my anniversary tour, this version, very punk with a lot of safety pins, and it just looked great. Looked great. Classic.
I don't know. How many costumes do you think
in one show
we did for you?
How many? I don't know. Maybe you can count. I don't know. We should. This is just one of the first costumes I ever had after just the hot pants, because someone sent me gloves that was a cape, and it became like a performative costume for me. So I just included that. How many costumes?
I don't know. I think for
dancers and for
150.
I don't know. Whoa, a lot.
150, yeah.
And there's even a lot that we haven't even ever used that we, Yeah. I'm gonna close that. Yeah. Oh, you got it.
Maybe now the clip of the Teachers of Peaches, the third one, would fit totally good with this, because then we see how the hot pants transformed into the security pin costume. Can we see the TOP clip number 3, please? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
About BPMs, so I think my first songs are all on 120 because I didn't even know you could change the BPM. Half my songs are written in side tone as the bass note, just because it comes up first, and then be like, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, make sure to catch the movie Teachers of Peaches, still running here in Berlinale Panorama. Yeah, is there any question from you? From your side? Okay, there's one in the middle.
This clip, this is a big, how do you say, the cutter did an excellent job.
Yes.
Between old ages and today, and then during you made this your movie, and my friend just pointed it out. It's so great. It's It's great.
Judy did the editing.
And became the co-director because their work was so important in shaping the actual film. So, so thank you for noticing. They also cut the Bruce LaBruce film, The Visitor, too. You'll see. They a very, very talented person.
Yeah. Thank you. There is another question in the middle here. No, a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth row.
Hi, I'm Jay. Thank you very much. There were 2 words that came out strongly for me: confusion and pleasure as revolutionary tools. And a lot of the work I've done over the years has seen those 2 things as clear. But bringing it outside into the street, not into the stage, things like Reclaim the Streets or the Clown Army. And I wanted to talk to you about clowning, because I see clowning here, and the role of the clowning, we put clowning and direct action together to create actions that use the clown logic to confuse authority. And I think clowning is extremely powerful, but quite problematic, but also a very non-binary space and quite a spiritual practice. And I wanted to ask you, where does clowning come into your practice as a...
I think my dad used to be like a professional pitcher, and he taught me to do that. I don't know, I just like doing things like that. I like to disarm people so that they feel more relaxed to hear really what's underneath it. So I think, to me, that is the role of, in your words, clowning, you know? Does that
grotesque,
answer?
yeah, but the grotesque Buffon kind of
Buffon,
character.
yeah, no, because reality is probably more grotesquely absurd than anything I can do. And so when I do that, I hope that people find that relationship, you know? So, for instance, when you'll see the large vaginas dancing, and they're shown somewhere blurred out. To me, that's reality being more absurd, to have to blur out a large costume. For what reason, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, when you find reality so absurd, and when you do absurd things, then people can... Maybe it's not so absurd. Maybe it's actually all related. Does that make sense? Or did I just confuse you all?
And sometimes confusion can also be the start of exploring new stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That is actually the point, because you're faced with questioning what you believed or what you thought was a viable standard or norm. I just found something in my pocket of... Ooh. Reading glasses.
There's a question here in the front. Eva? Thank you very much.
I was very lucky to be one of the extras in Dick in the Air. And
Dick in the Air being a Peaches song.
And it was great just how inclusive you brought your fans in. They were part of the family. What's next? What do you want to do next?
That's the exciting unknown part for me right now, because what I think is really important to understand through Charlie's work and my work is that I'm not just a singer or musician. Charlie's not just a hairdresser or you know, like made it into fashion revolution, and also so you can make a movie, or you could make a book, or just use your creative outlets in any way, and realize it doesn't have to be restricted to something that you've learned or maybe just done before. So I'm not sure. That's my answer. Wow, I'm really into confusion today.
I love it. Is there another question here? Okay, here's one in the front. Carlos, it's more on your side in the second. Thank you.
Sorry to ask two questions, but I want to know if you guys have had any hair or wardrobe malfunctions in your time working together, and if there's anything that's really memorable.
I don't think we did we? No, I don't.
I have had one.
did?
I don't think it's like something you did, but
I'm sure it is.
I like to wear extensions too, and extensions were put in my hair one night, and they went like that, and one fell out. So that was a malfunction. Malfunction? Yeah. So I just started pulling them out and being horrified, and it became a performance. So any time there's like a malfunction, it doesn't matter. We just make it into something else. It's not like it has to be this way, and now it's gone. Oh, now we have to start again. It's just like that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any.
Yeah.
I mean.
Any more questions from your side?
Oops.
Okay, there is one in the third row. Yeah, they're coming.
Oh yeah, well, we can. I was
coming.
thinking about putting that. Thanks.
Yeah, it's okay.
This one's fun on stage because it's I usually you can just go in front of me like you can. It's a new belt. It's kind of.
Those are all braided. And just braids, sewn on just a cotton fabrics, really. Something simple. You got it?
What's really fun about all that it's so performative. It's okay. You guys. It's so performative, and it's not like you have to run off stage to put it on and then come back. It's like fun to put it on. Let people see that you see, that everybody see like the magic happening in front of you. Suspend your disbelief while you're watching things happen, and then.
And we usually spend Hillary or someone spend a long time straightening all the hairs before the show, because it does change the whole aspect to it. They do look like they need a keratin treatment or something right now. All right. You want to wear that one?
This is me just putting on.
Oh yeah, you're putting on dress. Petrus, would you describe your work as radical, or what would you describe?
I would describe it as radical joy. Yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean for you?
It just, like I mentioned before, I feel so privileged to be able to express my perspective and to listen to other perspectives and to create new realities and to question patriarchal views and realities and situations. And that's something I can do. That's something I've spent my 10,000 hours doing. That's my lane. So I feel like I can be of service, and I can have a fucking good time doing it.
Yeah, that's good. And when it comes to language, how would you describe your language?
Yeah, my language is very performative. Here we are talking. I kind of feel like it breaks the language that I use because I'm explaining. But I feel like I like to be performative in the way I want to construct my reality or question the realities so that it still leaves room for you as a viewer or as a participant to reflect for yourself or have your own questions or your own opinions. Because when I first started, my first album, Teachers of Peaches, was very, in my opinion, it was like very direct. I didn't sing. I mostly spoke repetitive words that I just wanted to be said. The beats are very minimal. And people had so many opposing feelings and lots of feelings, lots of opinions, all very different. So that showed me that work was to be done, and that it was happening in terms of what you think is what you think is how it is perceived in another way, or how other people what they get out of it is. It's incredible to create new languages. Yeah,
and I think also, besides your own performance and the songs that you're writing, you also have a stage performance with a whole crew that you are working with. Can you also tell us about that and how also the collaboration works?
The collaboration works that if we're open and we fit together and we're ready to be spontaneous and ready to work and ready to spread the queer positivity, then we're good. Yeah.
Okay, and Charlie, what about you? How would you describe your language?
I think one thing I realized with Peaches is like when I work with her, and for example when we have new dancers and stuff, there is lots of, at the beginning, from everyone, insecurity that we can have about ourselves. And that goes away during the tour, completely. One example, I will say drummer Tiff, also, that was, just speaking about costume, that was completely covering up at the beginning, and ended up, she was basically naked at the end of the tour, and it was amazing to see this, how we just open ourselves.
I never ask people to be please take off your clothes on stage. And it's a different work from someone like Florentina Holtzinger, who's one of the greatest artists of our time right now, and you should all please see her work in some form if you can. But and it's very important in that work that everybody's naked. But I'm not asking people, and I'm opening it. But
we feel just like in a safe space or around people that it just happens naturally, Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I also like how the starting point is how do you say? Oh my God, I forgot the English word. Insecurity. That you start with insecurities and then getting to a point where you feel safe. Yeah. This is also like a lot of community work, apparently. Yeah.
That's a very important point, definitely. Yeah. And it's great to see the transformation of people too.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just their physically taking clothes off, but their mindsets and their strength and their confidence.
Yeah, and as an act of empowerment then also. Yeah. Great. Do you have any questions? It's your chat. Oh, okay, a lot of, okay. So we have one in the front and one in the back. And did I miss something here on this side? No. Okay.
You're talking about transformation and regarding imagine when you started your career as Peaches with your pink hot pants, you were probably standing nearly alone on stage. And now this, I liked it, but we saw the picture yesterday, and we saw it in the picture when you with the pink hot pants on whatever. So you were one person on stage, and you had your voice, your lyrics, and your sounds. And now I think it's getting more for the total, how do you say, impression or show. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, it's great, and they're sexy looking, and I'm allowed to say that, I don't know, but it's a cool show, yeah, of course. Isn't it sometimes a little bit sad or romantic for you to go back to the basics and stand and say your words as you said it in the movie, and shout out what you, and if you're not, if it's there not your mouth and it's not your topic, and so this kind of.
Yes, you're referring to. Mm-hmm.
And that's what you wanted to say, and not to overwhelm with visual.
I also like to overwhelm with visual. I think it's a lot of fun. And I also still go on stage alone many times. I go on stage by myself constantly. So, no, how should you know every move I make? But, so I think that that's part of the power too, in the same way that I was saying, you know, I always end up with like wearing nothing, and then at the beginning I have a huge costume, and then while you're watching at the end with nothing, you're like, wait, wow, it's still pure and exciting, and so it's important for me also to involve a community and also have just realize more dreams and fun, you know, with people and my directorial skills, and you know, but also to do it alone. I love to perform alone.
And of course, you teach a lot of people to show what they want to show. There was one scene with this guitar player, this young lady, and after
Blahin, yes.
Great crazy head with a super transformation from this.
Yes. She had an incredible transformation. It's like a whole documentary could be on Blahin's transformation throughout the tour, emotionally, intellectually, physically. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you got good things out of the movie.
Yeah, make sure to watch the movie because you see it's has an impact, apparently. Yes. There was a question in the back and then in the front.
Hello, my name is Imke, and I just want to say I'm very inspired by how much you just do what you want, and even if things haven't done it before or if it's considered not normal in society. And so I was wondering if there were key moments or that where you were okay, I'm just gonna do what I want and I'm just gonna put myself out there, or if you've always been like this. Yeah.
I think I haven't always been like that. I was quite awkward, shy child. I think that just the more I followed what my questions were in my head, the more it led me to try out things, and then my personality and just from my route, not that it has to be anybody else's, was very performatively and communication through physical action. So the more I tried, and then I would see reactions or feel what I thought was still unanswered questions or confusing people, like I was saying, then I would be like, oh, how can I go further on this? And it was questions for myself. And I really didn't know how far it would go for me or as a relationship to people. But I'm super, super proud that it did. And it does.
Thank you.
Hi. So I'm not quite sure this is a question, but I guess it's just something I want to communicate. So your work is really, really important to me. And I think a lot of its importance is constituted precisely in its like dirtiness, sluttiness, and explicitness. And I have to say, although I loved seeing you on screen, I was a little disappointed by the documentary because I felt like it really tried to sanitize you in a way. And it felt like there was this like voice off screen, and I'm not sure if it was the directorial voice, that tried to lead you in a direction that I didn't feel was genuine. And perhaps also not queer enough. Like it hid I think it's very important to state and voice specific things with specific words, and that's something that you do. And I felt the documentary didn't. And I was just wondering, like, if you have any thoughts or feelings about that.
Sure. It's not my movie. I did, we worked a lot on the movie. I don't know if I agree with the not expressing queer ideas. I think that actually Black Cracker states it out really well with this line we said even before, if it's not in your mouth, it's none of your business, which I think is a very important line. I think a lot of those, that comes through. We can have a further discussion about it because, there's a lot of things to be said about it. It's taken me a long time to even want to do a documentary. Mm-hmm. This documentary is specifically about the anniversary tour and the first album. It also helps me understand that documentary work, it's very difficult to, your feeling about who I am, their feeling about who I am, somebody who's never seen me or my work, that might be, different. There is also another documentary coming out by Marie Lozé. I don't know if you're familiar with her work. She did the Ballad of Genesis and Lady J. And it's completely flipping the outside inside. And I think they'd be an interesting double bill because you'll see a completely flipped version of what that is. But, I mean, that's your opinion. I don't know what to say about your opinion about the film, so...
No, it's more... I guess I really understand what you're saying with it's also really influenced by my impression of you as a figure that I know as a persona but not as a person. And I guess with
so
people
were you disappointed as me as a person maybe?
Not at all. But
you don't like my cats?
No, I loved your cats.
I'm just kidding around. I'm just being cheeky now.
There was definitely I understand that there's with people you admire, there's a lot of your own projection that goes into them. And I guess maybe a follow-up question to that is, so there's you, the person, and there's you, the figure, the persona. And because your work to me is highly political, I wonder if you ever have a desire to maintain only the persona and not let your personhood seep in, which is a lot to ask. I'm not saying don't be a person, but I just I wonder if that's something that you think about, and if that's something that you think as an artist and a political artist is something worth considering to kind of present yourself as part of your cause.
You think I think now I'm confused, but that's good. So you think that I should present myself more as a person? Or I'm actually confused at the question. Should you feel like I'm not showing my own person, or I am?
So I guess in the documentary, it was the first time that I did see you as a person.
Right.
And that's the interesting thing about... I think that's the interesting thing about documentary work, that it unveils something. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've done that before in your career, so I guess the question is how did that maybe change the perception of yourself as an artist, or how you present yourself as an artist? Because suddenly the person seeped through. Does that make more sense? I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine and confusing you, I guess.
You
I'm
really are.
into it right
and,
now.
and that's good. That's good, and I'll think about it. But I feel like no, I don't feel no. I don't know. For that, I don't agree. The sanitation part of it, we should talk more about that. And I think it's great. I'm glad that you didn't, you were unsatisfied with the documentary. It's not, it's not a career documentary where I'm dead and I can't do more. So this is a great place to start for next works, or if I do a documentary on myself, because I have so. But I definitely learned a lot about how people work. I learned what a great editor Judy is too, and I learned that it's different people have different ideas about who I am. Even if they want to make a documentary about me, it might not be all-encompassing of who I am. And I think that also the director really learned a lot about my queer world, and also more about me as a human that they weren't expecting in terms of what they wanted to make the documentary about. So you should have seen it before. But I just want to say that I respect that they cared about my opinion and cared, like, early on, because I'm sure a lot of people make documentaries and they're like, please, protagonist, not person, stay away, this is my documentary. But it was really, they understood that I could not sign off if I wasn't, happy with collaborating with them.
And I see in this question also, this the question of how much projection is there in performance and in body, because I don't see it so separate. There is so many intersections going on, and you cannot change or separate the person you are on stage and the private one, because it's all interlinked somehow. And the question of how the audience is projecting into a figure, into a multitude, is also a very interesting one. And then how the artistic figure distance themselves and become even more what they want to be, in contrary of what the projection is also very interesting.
That is amazing. I love it. No, really, the way you just explained that. So that is your amazing lane too, right?
Yeah, thank you.
That was really, that's your conflict skills right there in action. No, that really made a lot of sense to me. Thank you.
Yeah, but also thanks for the question.
Thank you.
It's a very important one.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and thanks all for your insights, for your costumes, for all the love, dedication, your artistic work, your personal work, and that you have been here on stage with us sharing a lot of insights.
Thank you all for coming to appreciate it.
Thank you very much.